Ladies and gentlemen, Peacemaker X Fortnite is finally here. And today I wanted to just simply review the collab and talk about each of its cosmetics because I think that'd be kind of fun. So first, what's really interesting is Peacemaker wasn't given a billboard like Kai Cenat currently has. If you go down to Peacemaker, it's just Peacemaker. Even though Peacemaker is allegedly selling more than Kai, so that's kind of funny. But Peacemaker is basically just being treated as a regular old collab and not like a crazy thing. Maybe they haven't set it up so they can have two billboards at once. I don't know. But point is, none for Peacemaker. So first, let's go over the skin, which I really want to talk about because I said this in my last video that I really wanted the skin to have the yellow and blue helmet.
I love when the helmet is like the yellow and blue type of thing. So much so that whenever the Fortnite Peacemaker collab happens, I am praying they use the yellow and blue design.
And it does. I don't like when it's all gray, so I'm really happy that this is the helmet that's in the game. This is the X-ray vision style, but you'll notice it's incorrectly called human torpedo. And I hope that gets fixed one day, but right now, this is X-ray vision despite being called human torpedo. This is the helmet Peacemaker uses to see the bugs inside of the people's heads.
Activate X-ray vision.
And the helmet Adebayo uses to learn that Mern is also a butterfly. This is human torpedo, even though it's called X-ray vision. And this is the helmet that Peacemaker never really even uses, but Adebayo uses in the finale. Interesting that Peacemaker even has this as an option, though. And then obviously no helmet if you want to see Chris Smith in all his glory. They did really good on this, and I'm pretty sure I saw that this isn't the same face model as John Cena's skin. If I can go and grab that really quickly. I saw somewhere that these are two separate face models. So take with that what you will, whether or not that means they redid it or maybe Peacemaker is an older skin that they're finally releasing today. I only say that because that is a theory that I've had, because just something about the Peacemaker skin and his face looks a little cartoony. It gives the vibe that it was meant to be released a really long time ago. Next up, the Eagly back bling. Unfortunately is not actually Eagly, it is just a plushie of him, but I do like this design. I think this like chain thing is unique to Fortnite. I've never seen it anywhere else. And then Eagly wearing the helmet, I love that as well. Because you can buy the back bling separately, this just gives the vibe as like they made it so if you couldn't afford the skin but you still had some V-Bucks, you could get something. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this, because it still like resembles Peacemaker a lot with the helmet specifically. So maybe that's what they did here. I hope that's what they did because I think that's kind of cool. A cool back bling nonetheless. This is kind of like a back bling that could work on any skin just because you like it, you know? It doesn't really have to be in fitting for the skin. I do kind of wish maybe Eagly had a style to remove the helmet. That's kind of a nitpicky thing. I believe there are rumors of the Fortnite Companions cosmetic, which is like Fortnite pets. It would be pretty neat if they included Eagly in that. So fingers crossed, because I'd love to see that. Peacemaker shield is another thing I want to talk about, because I mentioned this in the last video as well, that I love the Peace shield.
I really like the scene that the shield is used in, being the ending fight scene in season 1.
It literally only appears in the season 1 finale. So it's really cool that it somehow made the cut in the Fortnite collab, because I wanted it to. Like, I really wanted the shield in Fortnite. That was my most wanted thing of this collab, was the shield. My only wish is that it was a little bit bigger, but beggars can't be choosers. I think this is sick. So yes, now we have the emotes, but I want to go to the wrap first, because the wrap is really weird and interesting to me. It's time reactive, which means as it turns nighttime, it'll slowly but surely kind of transition into something else. And that looks like this. And I don't know what this is. This is a really weird, funky thing where I can't tell you where it originates from and why it turns into a skull out of nowhere. It looks cool. I genuinely just can't think of an origin for this. All right, next up is Peaceful Hips, which before we actually let that go in, I want to talk about this because this is controversial. This is the dance from season 2's intro. And people do not like that for some reason. I'm actually part of the minority that really likes the season 2 intro a little better than the first. So I'm not mad that they went with the second intro. I do wish they did both. Howsoever, what I am mad about is how the emote is this, and that's it, and then it does it over again. It's like a 2-minute intro. There's a lot to pick from, and I'm kind of annoyed that that's all they did. I think the reason they went with just those 3 moves is because those are the 3 moves that Peacemaker himself does in the beginning of the intro specifically. I kind of feel like what might have happened, they forgot for a moment that other skins can do this emote too. It's not exclusive to Peacemaker, so it doesn't have to be accurate to the dance Peacemaker does. This is not me saying I do not want a season 1 dance. Part of me also feels like that's in the vault somewhere. I feel like when they do wave 2, inevitably that'll be a part of it. So I do hope that either 1, update the emote a little bit, 2, just do the season 1 dance, even if I prefer the season 2 dance. And now last but probably least is the peace approved emote, which is a simple little emote that is kind of neat. Fun fact, this was actually renamed. This was originally titled Eat Peace. They changed it. I have to imagine it's because the original line that Eat Peace comes from. Eat Peace, motherfucker! And they probably didn't want that. So now that we've gone over every item in the collab, I do kind of want to go over things that I would do differently. For starters, I want to show you the Superman skin, because Superman has a style that makes him look comic accurate, and that is really cool. I point that out because I think Peacemaker would look super cool with a style like that. Peacemaker's comic book appearance is different enough to warrant its own style. Another thing is Earth 2 styles. The only reason I can think of is why they didn't do that. Maybe they didn't want to spoil that. Maybe once the season ends, they'll add it as a style and it'll like be a free style, same way they did with Invincible in his black and blue style. And then another thing would have just been more skins. I feel like just Peacemaker's a bit lame. Now I won't be mad if this is just to test the waters. If this is just Fortnite trying to see, do people even really care about this? I truthfully believe Vigilante was meant to be a part of this. A reason why I think that this bundle cost 2,000 V-Bucks. Howsoever, creators were told that it would cost 2,800. I feel like that means there were meant to be more cosmetics, but then they were pulled and they forgot to kind of update the prices and such. Of course, they could have also just typed the wrong number. If we're to believe leakers were telling the truth, Vigilante was at one point intended to be part of the collab, but of course leakers lie all the time, so I doubt that. Parkour is another one that would have made a lot of sense, and I think she would work really well in Fortnite. So I really hope we do see more. I think Peacemaker is a kind of rare thing where every character that they have would fit right into Fortnite. Hi, it's post-video me. I noticed a few more details when I was editing this video that I'd like to mention. For starters, Peacemaker's base style is wrong as well. In-game, it's called Sonic Blast, despite this being Sonic Boom, which means all 3 of his helmets are wrong. Another thing is the design for X-ray vision is incorrect. Fortnite depicts it as being fully gray with a red visor. However, it actually has these black trims. All in all, kind of unfortunate to be honest. Human Torpedo has no real mistakes other than its incorrect name, but even then, it's never worn by Peacemaker. Just wanted to point this stuff out before ending the video. Hopefully these things get fixed, but I kind of doubt it. At least the names probably will, but I don't think the design stuff is getting changed. But you win some, you lose some. The skin looks great. And with this, you can make your dreams come true and have him and Bloodsport reunite once again. Fingers crossed happens this season. Please, James Gunn. Please, James Gunn. Please, James Gunn.